We're going to Google nanomedicine, and we're going to click on the images. What do you see here? Let's open it. So what we are looking at is different nanomedicine products and nanotherapeutic platforms in clinical care. And we have lipid-based nanocarriers, polymer-based nanocarriers, inorganic nanoparticles, viral nanoparticles, and drug conjugates. Here is nanodiagnostics, nanoimaging, and nanotherapies for precision medicine. Nanotechnology applications in biomedical sciences. So this is everywhere nanotechnology is being used. We have biomedical nanodevices, diagnostics, biodetection of pathogens, advanced medical imaging, identification, security, and logistics, lab-on-a-chip technology, drug targeting, nanomedicines, nanocoatings, disinfection, bio-nanosensors, batteries with high energy storage, drug screening technologies, medical implants, and tissue engineering. Let's go over here to Nanomedicine Academy. And we're going to read, why nanomedicine? Ever wondered how to screen for thousands of diseases with just a single drop of blood? Or search out and destroy cancer cells without surgery or chemotherapy? Or texture materials to promote tissue regeneration while preventing implant rejection? These ideas may sound futuristic, but they are being studied in labs right now. Nanomedicine is the application of nanotechnology to medicine. It is a rapidly expanding interdisciplinary field that seeks to develop new and improved techniques for screening, diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease. Today, nanomedicines are used for patients suffering from a range of disorders, including cancer, kidney disease, fungal infections, high cholesterol, multiple sclerosis, chronic pain, and asthma. Here is this lovely image. Nanomedicine is a highly interdisciplinary field that requires researchers to have a strong understanding of how nanomaterials interact with the human body at multiple length scales. Developing new and effective nanomedicines requires an understanding of how basic building blocks assembled at the nanoscale causes unique and distinctive features that are not possible with bulk materials. These nanomaterials interact with biological structures at the scale of molecules and thus have found a widespread use for biomedical research and applications. A variety of tools exist to characterize, optimize, and predict nanomaterial interactions with cells and molecules. Upon validation in vitro, nanomaterials are tested in vivo to better understand how their delivery and function impacts behavior at the tissue scale. Ultimately, researchers hope to use these nanomaterials to improve the screening, diagnosis, and treatment of disease, provided that the nanomaterials can be proven to both be safe and effective in clinical trials. Now we're going to go over here to the FCC. Ingestibles, wearables, and embeddables. Routine tests can be anything but. Appointment times are often inconvenient. You may be at the mercy of walk-in labs and testing facilities, where waiting could be uncertain and often longer than many people can accommodate. Personal health, which should be a top priority, can suffer when important diagnostic tests fall off our to-do lists. Recent advances in broadband-enabled sensor technology offer the potential for the emergence of more convenient, ultimately less costly, and less invasive solutions. For example, we may soon see widespread use of smart clothing or smart tattoo applications that use skin based sensors to measure things like heart rate, respiration, and blood pressure. These new types of technologies are generically called ingestibles, wearables, and embeddables. Ingestibles are broadband enabled digital tools that we actually eat. For example, there are smart pills that use wireless technology to help monitor internal reactions to medications. Or imagine a smart pill that tracks blood levels of medications in a patient's body throughout the day to help physicians find optimum dosage levels, avoid over-medicating, and truly individualize treatment. Also, miniature pill-shaped video cameras may one day soon replace colonoscopies or endoscopies. Patients would simply swallow a pill, which would collect and transmit images as it makes its way through the digestive system. Wearables are digital tools you can wear, such as wristwatch-like devices that have sensors to monitor your heart rate or other vital signs. Beyond medical monitoring, such wearables may also help improve athletic performance, track fitness goals, or help prevent dangerous falls in the elderly. In fact, designers are now able to put sensors in t-shirts and other clothing to monitor precipitation as a stress indicator. And tattoo-like sensor that could be peeled off after use or that might be absorbed by the body are another similar advance. These sensors gather data through skin contact and transmit information wirelessly to smartphones and remote diagnostic facilities. Embeddables are miniature devices that are actually inserted under the skin or deeper into the body. A heart pacemaker is one kind of embeddable device. In the future, embeddables may use nanotechnology and be so tiny that doctors could simply inject them into our bodies. Some promising applications in this area could help diabetes patients monitor their blood sugar levels reliably and automatically without the need to prick their finger or otherwise draw blood. Now we're going to go over here to nano.gov. This is the National Nanotechnology Initiative, and this is their official government website. I will leave the link in the description for those who want to check it out. But for now, we're going to go over here. Nanomaterials for photo-based diagnostic and therapeutic applications. Photo-based diagnosis and treatment methods are gaining prominence due to their increased spatial imaging resolution, minimally invasive modalities involved, as well as localized treatment. Recently, nanoparticles have been developed and used in photo-based therapeutic applications. While some nanomaterials have inherent photo-based imaging capabilities, others, including polymeric nanoparticles, act as nanocarriers to deliver various fluorescent dyes, or photosensitizers for photoimaging and therapeutic applications. These applications can vary from MRI and optical imaging to photothermal therapy and chemotherapy. Materials commonly used for development of photo-based nanoparticles ranges from metal-based, like gold, silver, and silica, to polymer-based. Recent research has paved the way for multi-module theranostic, a combination of therapy and diagnosis. Nanocarriers capable of active targeting using cell-specific ligands and carrying multiple therapeutic and imaging agents for accurate diagnosis and controlled drug delivery. This review summarizes the different materials used today to synthesize photo-based nanoparticles, their diagnostic and therapeutic applications, as well as the current challenges faced in bringing these novel nanocarriers into clinical practices. Now let's scroll down. Here's Figure 1. Multifunctional theranostic polymeric nanoparticles for simultaneous targeting, photoimaging, and drug delivery/therapy. We have a targeting ligand. As I've told you before, those spike proteins are there to make sure that your contrast dye, the system, can see you easier. Like the spikes in the MRI, so when they put you in the magnetic imaging, they can see back what they want to. That's why they have contrast dye in the first place. That's what methylene blue is used for. We will cover methylene blue in episode 101. So, you have targeting ligand, photosensitizer, therapeutic agent, and polymer. Here's Table 1, nanomaterials for photo-based diagnostic applications. So they want to get as much of the gold and silver into people because it's really good for optical sensing. It's going to make it super easy to see through your body. We're going to go to Google and we're going to search. What is optical sensing? Optical sensing is a technology that uses light, including infrared, visible, and ultraviolet, to detect, measure, or monitor physical properties like temperature, pressure, strain, or the presence of objects. You see, it uses light, like visible light communication. Now let's Google. How old is nanomedicine? Nanomedicine is a relatively young field, having emerged as a formal scientific discipline in the late 1990s. However, its foundational technologies, specifically liposome research, began in the 1960s, and the first clinical nanotherapeutic product was approved in 1995. Now let's go over here, and we're going to read. Engineering nano-drug biointerface to overcome biological barriers toward precision drug delivery. The rapid advancement of nanomedicine and nanoparticle materials presents novel solutions potentially capable of revolutionizing healthcare by improving efficacy, bioavailability, drug targeting, and safety. Nanoparticles are intriguing when considering medical applications because of their essential and unique qualities, including significantly higher surface to mass ratio, quantum properties, and the potential to absorb and transport drugs and other compounds. However, nanoparticles must overcome or navigate several biological barriers of the human body to successfully deliver drugs at precise locations. Engineering the drug carrier biointerface can help overcome the main biological barriers and optimize the drug delivery in a more personalized manner. This review discusses the significant heterogeneous biological delivery barriers and how biointerface engineering can promote drug carriers to prevail over hurdles and navigate in a more personalized manner, thus ushering in the era of precision medicine. We also summarize the nanomedicine's current advantages and disadvantages in drug administration, from natural, synthetic sources to clinical applications. Additionally, we explore the innovative nanoparticle designs used in both non-personalized and customized applications, as well as how they can attain a precise therapeutic strategy. Now let's scroll down. Here is Figure 1, classes of nanoparticles. We have lipid-based, polymeric, inorganic, and carbon-based. Now let's go over here to the National Library of Medicine, and we're going to read Biohybrid, Micro and Nanorobots for Intelligent Drug Delivery. Biohybrid, micro, and nanorobots are integrated tiny devices from biological components and artificial components. They can possess the advantages of onboard actuation, sensing, control, and implementation of multiple medical tasks such as targeted drug delivery, single-cell manipulation, and cell microsurgery. This paper is to give an overview of biohybrid micro and nanorobots for smart drug delivery applications. First, a wide range of biohybrid micro and nanorobots comprising different biological components are reviewed in detail. Subsequently, the applications of biohybrid micro and nanorobots for active drug delivery are introduced to demonstrate how such biohybrid micro and nanorobots are being exploited in the field of medicine and healthcare. Lastly, key challenges to be overcome are discussed to pave the way for clinical translation and application of the biohybrid micro and nanorobots. Microrobotics is dedicated to the research and development of artificial machines with the maximum size on the micron scale for a wide range of real-world applications. This emerging research field has received ever-increasing attention, especially after molecular machines were selected as the topic of the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2016. In the talk, there is plenty of room at the bottom. Richard envisioned the new field of small-scale machines. From the idea, Swallow the Surgeon, to the later movie, Fantastic Voyage, these micro and nanorobots are expected to hold great promise for a variety of biomedical applications, typically targeted drug delivery, minimally invasive surgery, and single-cell manipulation. The purpose of the medical microrobotics is to develop and deploy large numbers of micro/nano machines capable of physical, chemical, or biological propulsion, programmability, and reconfigurability to carry out diverse medical tasks, such as delivering drugs in situ, generating local hypothermia, targeting diseased cells, and performing cell microsurgery inside the complex body conditions. Nevertheless, existing challenges in materials design, mass production, biocompatibility, and control over locomotion and functionality need further efforts to overcome, thereby releasing the translational potential of medical microrobots for the clinic. Conventional fabrication techniques of micro/nanorobots encompasses the electroless plating, template-assisted electrodeposition, physical vapor deposition, strain engineering, 3D printing, capillary micromodeling, material assembly, bio-inspired design, and biohybridizing method. Since not all the biohybrid micro/nano systems fall to micro/nano robots, it is necessary to clarify the definition of biohybrid micro and nano robots. The biohybrid micro and nano robots refer to the functional micro and nano robots that comprise biological components like DNA, enzymes, and cells, and artificial components like inorganic or polymer particles. They can inherit the parental biological properties, onboard actuation, and sensing capabilities. In recent years, great efforts have been made by researchers to this emerging field of biohybrid micro/nano robots, and several reviews have been published as valuable reference resources on relevant specific topics. In this review, we will first highlight different types of biohybrid micro and nano robots concisely, as summarized in Scheme 1. Afterwards, we will introduce the representative medical applications of biohybrid micro and nano robots as intelligent drug delivery systems. Finally, an outlook on the future directions of biohybrid micro and nano robots will be discussed. And here is Scheme 1. These are all your biohybrid, micro, and nano robots. We have sperm-based, DNA enzyme-based, cytomembrane-based, microorganism-based, erythrocyte-based, which would be your red blood cells, and leukocyte-based. Now let's scroll down. This is where the Corona Nano routing had to be upgraded. That's your 1906.1 with your molecular communication. Here are your bacteria-driven micro-robots. Here are magnetically driven sperm bots. Here are the different sizes of biohybrid micro and nano robots.